Good morning. Time to make the coffee. I'm having gingerbread ticino today. I used up my snickerdoodle and I'm trying to save money, so I didn't order any new, but I will. Next time I need stuff, I'll order some more of that too. So now I'm working on the gingerbread ticino. It's good too, but it's not as good as the snickerdoodle. So I'm trying to cut back on food and groceries because I don't need much. So that's one way I'm trying to just save up some money to get a bill paid off. So there we go. That's empty now too, but I have more creamer in the fridge downstairs. I always like to keep backups of everything. I don't like to run out of things. So that's what I do. Do you guys do that? Do you keep backups, or do you just buy only what you need every week? Nothing wrong with either way, other than your preference. So cheers. Yes, that's tasty too. So today we're going to have a high of 91. Ugh. Double ugh. And it's already humid out. Everything's very sticky. We had a tiny, tiny rain shower yesterday. It wasn't even enough to get everything wet, so I'm going to have to go out this morning and water. So in July and August, it's the watering marathon. But if I didn't like gardening so much, I would just forget about the whole thing. But I really enjoy gardening. It gets you out there with nature, and watching things grow is really nice. So I'm planning on staying home today. First of all, getting that watering done, and then I'll do some things in the house. A little bit of cleaning and a little bit of straightening up. Nothing real strenuous, because there isn't anything really strenuous that needs to be done. So I probably won't do much work in the garden today. I'll just probably do some watering. Although I do have a few things that still need to be planted. I have some fern and what else? Some gladiola bulbs, which is really kind of late for those, but I'll put them in the ground anyway. See what happens. Maybe I'll get a late flush of gladiolas. But you know, when it comes to plants, they're picky about the soil temperature and the heat index that they like. So anyway, all right, well, let's take a look at my budget book today and see how I've done so far. So I will meet you over at the budget book. Okay, here we are back at my budget book. So on, when was it? Wednesday, I think it was. I went to Costco with my daughter just to tag along, but I didn't spend anything. So that's good. And then yesterday, I stayed home and I didn't spend anything again. So I'm doing pretty well with my not spending. I'm not doing a no spend this month. I'm just doing a low spend. And so far, so good. Even if I were to not spend money for 2 weeks and spend money for 2 weeks, that would be okay. But my whole goal of this thing is to pay off a couple bills. So the more cash that I have available, the quicker that's going to happen. So sometimes you just have to be a little bit more disciplined and say, no, I'm not spending money today. So going day by day, I find is much easier than putting out, oh, I have a whole month when I'm not going to spend, or, whatever. That gets to be sometimes a little overwhelming, And then it's just easier for me if I go day by day. So, but you know, whatever works for you, that's what you should do. So, I'm not going to talk too much about the budget book today. I'm hoping that I get money twice a month, closer to the beginning of the month and then the middle of the month. So the middle or the beginning of the month is harder for me because most of my bills come due around here. And then I don't have as many bills here. So especially when I've already depleted my funds, the first month, especially when I'm doing this, is the most difficult because I need more cash available here. And if I've depleted my funds, it's not always available until I get this second money. And then for the next month, I should have a little bit more wiggle room up here. So it's important for me not to spend money right now so that I can get those bills paid. And it's not a big deal. I mean, I've been debt-free many times before, and I've had debt many times before. So that's just the way life goes sometimes. You know, you have times where you have to spend more, and then times where you can save a little bit more. And it's not anything really that's too stressful for me because I do try and keep a handle on it. So, and there goes my little Lizzie again. Somebody probably slammed a car door. But anyway, so that's what I'm trying to do here. Trying to get enough to put $100 in the Christmas fund, put money into my emergency fund, and pay off my bill. And I'll get it done. Like I said, I've been in and out of debt many times, and I want to stay that way. It's much more pleasant when you don't have debt, extra payments that you have to put in to pay off a debt. But I wanted to get my garden done this year, so I figured, well, I'm just going to bite the bullet and get what I need for the garden, and that's what I did. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing well with your budgeting and staying out of debt, and that you aren't getting too many bills, because I know sometimes you can't help it. Things just break and you have to fix them. So all right, that's it for the budget book chat for today. Well, today in the garden, I did a little rearranging of pots. That's the nice thing about gardening with pots. It's something that you can change it up if you want to. So I bought these two hibiscus plants. They're the ones with the real big flowers. I bought those last year, and I never got around to planting them, and I thought they were dead, but they did come back. So I didn't quite know where to put them. I had planned on planting them in the front garden, but then I didn't. So I ended up putting them here, and they're much happier here because they don't get as much sun. This one was always drooping and looking terrible. And so I've noticed they have some buds on them. So I think that'll look nice there. And hopefully it'll work out. So yeah, just rearranging my pots, and that's what I did today. These were the ones that were behind the greenhouse, so I still have to put them in these pots though. I just have them sitting there. So that's what I did in the garden today. Not too much because it got hot. All right, well, short video today. Not too much going on, just puttering around in my garden, which makes me happy. But I'm to the point where I need to stop puttering and get it done. So there's always something to do in the garden, whether it's staking up your plants or harvesting or, planting this, moving that, because things get too big for where you originally planted them. So there's always something to do. But I want to call it pretty much good for this year. I have a couple little projects yet that I have to finish up. And somehow I'm not in a big hurry to get that done because the weather's been so hot that I can only do it in the morning, so it'll get done. And I looked on Google, and I still have a couple of bare root ferns and some lilies, some cannas, you know, the kind that come in the plastic bags from Walmart. And so I Googled it to see if I can still plant those and have anything come of it. So a lot of them said to, you know, plant them in the fall, but you can still plant those things now. So on a cooler day, I'll try and get those in the ground, because here in Ohio, I'm going to have to pull them all up again in the fall. Not everything, not the ferns and not the lilies, but the cannas, those all have to be pulled back out because they freeze and then they get mushy. So anyway, the heavy work is done. I still have to move some mulch bags, but I don't have to move them very far. I can drag those over or have my grandson help me put them somewhere. So, but other than that, the heavy work is done. I'm not doing any more of that. So I'm just a little off schedule when it comes to finishing up the garden, which I'm okay with that because the weather was so lousy. Too much rain in the spring, now it's too hot. And I'm not complaining, it's just a fact. It's a fact of life. Sometimes we have to work around these things. So anyway, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Don't forget to share, and thanks for watching.